All right, guys, welcome back to Ricky's Roundtable. This week we are here in Estonia. We have a square table, but we've got two awesome guests. We got Simon, we got Eagle, and super exciting. Let's get into it. All right, so I wanted to share my first experience meeting you guys on the course, and then I'll let you guys jump in and share your experiences kind of meeting me as well. So first one is gonna be, I'm gonna start with Simon.
Okay.
And I remember, it's not really on the course actually as much as like, I think it was that you're in the Discmania RV. That was my like first experience with seeing you, is that you're in the RV. Who were you in the RV with? Is it Avery and them?
Year one was Avery Jenkins.
So I could kind of relate to that because I went on my first year on tour was with Avery and them.
That's right.
So I kind of like was on tour in that. And I think it was the same RV actually. That's the funny part.
No.
It turned into, was that a different one?
Well, I think it was basically the same one, but a different one.
I gotcha, yeah. But yeah, so we've got this very similar start with the Jenkins. I think that's kind of been a theme with them, is they kind of take newer players under their wing, which is really cool. And I do remember also, is that the same RV where you put the basket in your first trick shot? I remember seeing that video. That's my first two like Simon and like impressions. I saw those two moments. I was like, all right, that's what I think of when I think of Simon. First meeting him is you throwing the disc in the basket when the RV's moving over that bridge thing. You remember that?
I remember that, Ricky. But those two things are 2 years apart.
Are they? I don't know, but that's what comes to my head. Is there anything wrong with that?
No, I'm happy to be a trick shot guy in your head. That's what
plan. I know there's lots more to you, but that was just the first couple moments that I look back and I'm like, oh, that's Simon.
What year was your tour with Avery?
It was like 2011.
Okay, so 3 years before I ever came to the States, really.
But you were playing, you just weren't like on tour, obviously, yet.
Yeah. I played in Europe,
Germany,
but the first time I heard of you was, I think, basically your first big win, which was the PGA Championships?
At the IDGC,
What year was that, 2011?
I think it was 11 or 12, one of the two,
Yeah, so back then, obviously, the social media wasn't really existent, and disc golf media in general wasn't really existent, but there were like videos of you on YouTube, and I just remember that it was like the big discussion in German disc golf back then. Have you seen Ricky's putt? And like I was just watching these YouTube videos of you putting, and it just looked like you it literally the first time I was like, that can't be like real. It looked like fake, because the disc would just go up and then just like in a straight line, just like nose diving into the basket. Like I've never seen someone putt like that. You still pretty much putt the same than you did 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But I was like, holy cow, this guy is so much better than Albert V. He's unbeatable.
That's funny. I think I seen some videos of you popping up, throwing some shots, I skip shot off the ground. That was one of your early content videos where you were like throwing some skip shot off the ground in Germany and you smashed chains and made it. Do you remember that? You had like super long hair. You had long hair. I remember you were probably like at your home course, and you just do some crazy skip shot. Yeah, it's super old, but I remember that. That was super cool. That was you in action throwing.
Yeah, I don't really remember ever playing with you pre-2014, which is when I did the tour with Avery. I know we definitely played together in 2014. At Texas States, where you won, I got second,
you played
and Paul
really good
got
too.
third. You kind of smushed us all in the freaking. It was so windy.
Yeah, it was super windy.
And you, for some reason, were not affected by it.
You're kind of the wind whisperer too, though.
I have my days. But yeah, you were just, of course, the guy that was challenging Macbeth. Who was the man to beat in those times.
For sure.
And you were always right there. So whenever we had a tournament in that time and you beat Ricky or Paul, you know you did something right.
For sure, The gatekeepers kind of. And then Eagle, I think my first tournament time playing with you was at GBO. I feel like it was GBO, one of the GBOs. Because I know you'd always play that because you're from Colorado. It's not too far away.
It was Worlds 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, I played with you the third round. I remember or it was like second or third round.
Okay.
We were playing Deer Lakes.
Oh yeah, I'm just in Pittsburgh.
And I remember that reason because like it was a big deal for me back then.
No, for sure.
Card at Worlds. So I think that was my first time playing with you.
Okay.
But like, I think the first time like meeting you was Santa Cruz 2016 when we were staying at David Logus's place.
Yeah.
And I mean, Jerem was there. Madison, Page, Eric Oakley, like so many
You
players.
stayed there too. Yeah, it's funny. He stayed there too.
But you weren't there.
That year.
2016.
That year.
2016 was the.
You were after that, I think, right?
No, I was early David
Were you?
Larson. Yeah.
Okay. He was always the person everyone stayed with in Santa Cruz for like a couple years there. That was super fun.
The house was so
Where
cool.
Yeah,
were
it was amazing.
Where were they from? They were from
That was our first
Denmark.
sniff
Denmark.
at
That's
luxury.
right. I thought it was they were. that was crazy. But yeah, that was a fun time. That crew of people there. I still keep in touch with him. Every once in a while, I'll talk to
same.
Dave
Kinda,
Loggison
sorta.
from Santa Cruz. That's pretty.
Yeah, when I'm
pretty
in
fun spot.
California, like
Yeah.
Champions Cup, he'll come up and say hello. But
For-
yeah, that was
Shout
like
out.
my first time like interacting or meeting you, because I remember we went to Trader Joe's one night because we had to get some groceries.
Right.
And I remember asking you, like, what's Europe like? Because 2016 was my first time coming to Europe.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, it's good. The ice creams are smaller.
Yeah.
Drinks are just smaller.
Smaller, yeah.
Uh-huh.
All the generic stuff.
Yeah.
I remember first time I seen you throw is I just remember thinking like, are you double jointed? I was thinking like, how do you get your arm to like get in that position? I'm like, are you just super flexible or
double jointed and some scoliosis?
Oh, okay. Because I wondered, and I was like, what is going on with his arm? Like, how does he do that? Have you ever wondered that?
I wonder everything about Eagle.
Yeah. So I remember that's a big memory in my head that is such a unique throw that you're like, wow, can't forget like seeing him throw, and obviously still to this day, he throws such a unique style of throwing that it's fun to watch for sure. But yeah, then you're always you and your dad. I'm traveling with your dad all the time, and you're the young kid coming up and traveling around with your dad. It was awesome. He's always super supportive, huh? Probably the most supportive parent on tour that I've ever seen. I think for real. Like I don't think I've seen a parent more supportive than your dad. Literally, like on the whole tour.
He really feels like the disc golf dad.
No, that's really cool.
Yeah, like I feels like he's borderline famous. Like
no, for sure, yeah.
Like a lot of the time I'll come out to tour events and everyone's way more excited to see him.
You're like, what the heck? I'm here too.
So it's like he has a good time when he comes out, and he has a great interaction with everybody on tour. And without him, there's no doubt that I'd be where I'm at today. Like he was instrumental in my upbringing. Like he's my dad, but he's also my best friend.
Yeah. No, it's definitely noticeable. That's awesome to have that. I think most people don't. You'll have like your dad come out to one tournament here and there, but I think your dad came like every tournament for their first couple of years on tour.
Yeah, for one, he wanted to be there, but we were both kind of like homeless in a way. So it's like it was kind of a way for him to be nomadic and not get tied down to a place back home. But now he's got a place back home, so it's like he'll come out to the events that he wants to.
Right. He picks and chooses.
More a vacation now.
Yeah. Yeah,
but for a while he was like a part of the grind to a certain degree.
Yeah, he was in the flesh of the tour. That's cool.
Do you remember my dad?
I feel like I don't think I did.
You've met my dad.
I think maybe because I think he like sends me a message every once in a while. But I don't.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
But no, my dad.
I feel like.
So 2016 Worlds in Georgia.
Okay.
You won.
Yeah.
I was on
we
the
played
lead
with you, I think, too. Did you play that year with the lead card with us? It was like me, Adam, and someone else.
No,
and
Johnny McRae.
Johnny,
in the tournament.
That's right. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So my dad caddied for me that tournament. So.
Okay. But he hasn't.
You were focused on winning, I guess.
Yeah. Probably, but. He hasn't come out that much. He doesn't come to that many tournaments. Really?
No, I mean he lives in Germany, so and his feet hurt.
Okay, that's a bummer.
It is really a bummer.
Yeah, you kind of need those.
They're back and better than ever. The 2025 Discraft Tour Series lineup has arrived, featuring the fan favorite Z Swirl plastic. Swirly, grippy, and built for flight. Z Swirl was a standout in 2020, and now it's here again for another legendary season. Support your favorite Discraft pros and bag a piece of disc golf history. These limited edition discs won't last long, so grab yours before they're gone. Available now at discraft.com.
All right, so this question kind of pertains to both of you guys. When you first started playing disc golf, what pushed you over the edge to kind of want to branch off and start making content on top of your already kind of established and, disc golf career?
I can start. Well, it was very quickly clear to me that if I want to make a living off of disc golf, I was going to have to be better than you and Paul Macbeth. So I thought about it for a while. I was like, I'm probably never going to do that. So how can I make my brand happen without having to be the best constantly? Because that was just never really my thing. I didn't really enjoy the grind it takes to be that good, and I didn't like the pressure of having to be so good. And like for me, disc golf was never really about just competing and being the best. For me, it was more about just enjoying throwing frisbees around, and it was like more of the community vibe. Like that's kind of how I grew up with disc golf in Germany. It was just a whole different vibe and scene than it was over here in the US.
So you want to keep that kind of going?
Not that I just want to keep that going, that's just who I am.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what I like.
Yeah.
I can't really change that.
It makes sense.
So, yeah, I've been forced in front of cameras and microphones a lot in the early days with UC, of course, always driving us towards promo, and doing things professionally. So
I learned a lot there, I'm sure.
I just got pretty comfortable with it and just used to it and started liking it after a while too. So
you hated it at first, I'm sure.
Oh my God, I was a nervous wreck.
Jump into the deep end and learn how to swim kind of thing, eventually. That's kind of how that goes.
I'm definitely leaning towards introverted.
Yeah.
So it really took years for me to be comfortable talking to cameras or in front of people. But now it's like...
When did the trick shot thing start? So you went from kind of like, the UC doing the promos, and then you kind of transitioned to the...
Well, the trick shot, that was almost like pre-real content stuff.
Yeah.
That was just like... Social media was never really my thing. I didn't think it was like that fun or interesting. It was more like addictive and annoying. And so much on it is just like so fake and just like not my style. But it was just part of our job. We had to do it. So I thought I might as well try to do it good. And then the first ever thing I posted that got real traction was like in a skate park, a little trick shot catch where I like threw it into like one of those
half pipe
loops that just came back to me, and I caught it behind my back, and like that got so many clicks and so many comments, and I was like, whoa, people really like this. I kind of enjoy just trying stuff. So I kept doing it. And about once a month or every couple of weeks, I was able to create a cool little clip, and people loved it. And it really built my brand early, and the trick shots matched my style on the course a bit of playing disc golf, which was just a bit different and kind of more, what is the funnest way I can play a hole versus what is the easiest way I can play a hole. That was kind of always just my thing. So
kind of like the perfect storm for your brand.
It was just kind of just a match.
Yeah.
And I could just ride that.
No, I can totally see that. That's awesome.
And we all know that the big checks come from selling discs.
Yeah.
And the more people see your discs, the more people have a chance to support and buy the discs. And I always had a really good team behind me with Discmania, of course, who always pushed in the same direction. And All
right, Eagle, your turn.
Yeah, so if you go back to 2015, I did my first vlog, and I think other than Terry Miller, and maybe like Simon, like some random videos on your channel, I did these like tournament experience vlogs.
I remember that.
And the reason I did that originally is because I was like into like old school YouTube, and there was a lot of like daily vloggers like Shay Tards, BF versus GF, CTFXC, and I always watched it when I was a kid, and I figured like I'm starting to do something cool. I'm starting to travel, and I just carried my iPhone around, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna want to see this experience 10 years from now, and that was my motivation to start. So I didn't really care what other people thought, so I just like filmed whatever I wanted, and the goofier, the sillier it was, the better. And I started doing that. It gained a little bit of traction. People were able to kind of see my personality, and like going back to those videos, it's kind of like at this point it's cringe, but it's like crazy the fact that I actually like uploaded what I did. And like Simon, it helped me build my brand.
For sure.
And I remember when I was with Discmania, they corroborated what I was doing in the fact that UC saw potential, and he almost became like a mentor, saying like, okay, we'll give you like a vlog stipend. We're gonna put these on Spin TV, which at the time was like,
it was the disc golf.
It was probably one of the biggest YouTube channels. So it was like that
content.
right there was huge incentive for me, because one, I was getting paid, but two, eyes on my brand. It helped me build my brand, and like UC had this plan for me to kind of rise up the ranks, and of course it helped. My vlogs always kind of stayed the same. They got gradually a little bit better, but I got better, and that gave people more interest. Like, oh, what's he doing? Yeah. What's Eagle doing off the course? It was like, what was his experience like? And it just snowballed. And it, I mean, being on Discmania at the time was like a key point, because I was doing it alongside Simon. So it was like,
you guys,
we kind of created a brand that kind of pushed each other for a long period of time. So
Crush Bros, right?
Crush Boys.
Crush Boys, sorry. My bad. But yeah, no, you were one of the first ones I remember doing the vlogs, and that was super interesting. You were in a lot of those, huh?
Maybe about a third of them, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe
early
more.
on, like when 2017.
I'll go down the rabbit hole every now and then.
Yeah.
Scroll down Eagle's channel, see those old 2015, 2016 videos.
I never thought about it that way though. Like, that's a really good point, that you're filming those to like you said, if you want to go back, you're like, hey, I went on tour and this is my early days on tour.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really good point. Like, yeah, it's cool to have clicks and make money, but like, that's something you can't buy, is having those memories.
Yeah.
Hey, remember this experience from blah, blah, blah tournament,
well, it's
2017.
wild, because going way back, like my uncle gave me some like old videos of me as a kid. I've always liked being in front of the camera. Even though I've been like an introvert, I've always like sought out being in front of the camera, which was like so wild to see, given what I do now. It's like, oh, I get it. That's how I became the way I was.
Right,
from early on.
Kind of the opposite of you, where you're just like, I'm like you though, the same way. Like, I wasn't good in front of a camera at first. It was just like, you're stuttering, and you're like, as soon as they click record, you're like, your brain shuts off. You're like,
I'm saying good in front of the camera. I always like being goofy in front of the camera.
You
like,
felt comfortable doing that.
Goofy and like watching it back to make myself laugh.
Yeah. And if you did that, that was a success.
Right.
That's kind of cool.
You just reminded me of a thing I remember from you. I think you won the Japan Open 2015.
Yeah, 14, I think. Yeah.
I think 14. It was 15.
Was it 15? Okay.
It was.
Okay.
Because I was there, and we were like on this little stage for your like victory speech.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that, but it was
like one of the great.
No, it was one of the coolest speeches ever, because you just started like just totally like stumbling, not knowing what to say. And then it was so bad that you like had to start laughing yourself, and you just said to everyone, guys, I am so bad at this, and you were just laughing on stage trying to say something that made any sense. And I was like, wow, Rick, this is absolutely legendary.
So terrible. No,
but you pulled it off like in the Ricky way. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, the same kind of thing though. Like, you just get better with time. But yeah, that was a fun tournament. Japan Open.
It was me.
Do you know the origin of Crush Boys?
Yeah. We squatted down next to this car because we just signed it. It was in California, and I made a post saying the Crush Boys are back, and it caught traction from there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's like a big.
At least that's where I think it started.
Holy cow! Which car did we sign?
It was like an old Toyota pickup truck.
So I've signed 2 cars now. I forgot about that one.
All right, what was it like growing up, being sponsored by Discmania, and then kind of transitioning to where you're at today with MVP? So just kind of...
You can go first on this one.
Going from Discmania to MVP is pretty wild, because I was with Discmania for almost a decade, 9 years, and pertaining to the earlier question, in a lot of ways, UC was like a mentor, the closest thing I could have to a father figure, with him not being my father.
Yeah, 100%.
And everybody... For me, it was even crazier, because Discmania ended up being like a Colorado brand, which a lot of the people who worked at Discmania are people that I've known like all my disc golf life.
That's awesome.
So, going from Discmania, which it's the best place I could have ever been to start my career, but things change, of course, and I am forever grateful for what Discmania did for me. But it just became apparent that I needed a change, and I think a lot of things catalyzed that that changed. Simon leaving, and just what I was feeling behind the scenes personally. When you're used to something for so long, it becomes almost impossible to keep doing it the same way that you have done, and you just crave something new. And I know for me, that was the instance I was in, almost 2 years ago now, which is wild to say. But I'm in a great spot now. I think Discmania is still doing well, which is good to see. Obviously, Gannon is killing it over there. He's taking the reins in an incredible way. But now, MVP is doing incredible, and I'm just very grateful to be in the position that I am.
For sure. No, that's great. Great. All right, Simon, your turn.
Yeah, it's kind of similar for me. I was working with UC actually pre-Discmania for Innova Europe. Way back 2007 is when I first met UC. And he started sponsoring me with Innova Europe in 2008. And I didn't switch to Discmania until 2013 after I won the European Championships in 2012. Okay. So that was kind of the big thing back then was Prodigy was happening, and I was on Team Innova Europe, and Prodigy wanted me on their team, and that's the first time disc golfers were ever offered money to be on a team, a salary, correct?
They kind of raised the bar from that standpoint,
Basically, I was obviously entertaining the thought of getting paid to play disc golf, which was a bit unheard of back then. But I also really liked working with UC, and because I right from the start knew that UC had a vision for bigger and better things, and he had just so many endless ideas and so many really good ideas, and I just felt like he was the guy who, if there was any way in disc golf to get rich, I thought it was going to be through UC.
He was built different from that standpoint.
If there's ever going to be a massive event or sponsorship opportunities, it was going to be through UC. It's always kind of what I believed. And I had to say no to Prodigy, and took way less money from Discmania back then, but I had the benefits of, he told me you'll be the face of the company and we'll be promoting the crap out of you. So I went with that route, and obviously I'm extremely glad that I did, because we had a great 10 years at Discmania together. And after 10 years with them,
so it's 9 years, 10 years. That's crazy. You guys are both there almost the same amount of time.
Yeah, nothing was necessarily bad or wrong at Discmania, but it kind of felt a bit like we were in a loop of things, and it didn't feel fresh and exciting anymore. It was when a new disc came out, I of course had to promote it and be excited about it, but I just didn't feel like I was.
Right.
So I was just I just wanted something fresh. If I have to keep traveling so much and playing so much, I just need
some new spark.
Something new and different to keep doing it with any passion.
For sure.
So MVP came up with an insane offer for me, which, just financially alone, I was holy cow, I never thought this was possible. This was going to happen. And it was, I think, at least a month of thinking about it every day before I was I'm going to make the switch. And the announcement was insane.
Yep.
And it's 3 years ago already.
Yeah, that's crazy.
MVP now has been awesome. Completely different vibe. I'm just a pro athlete on their team. And all the behind the scenes stuff, I'm not really attached to in any way. Sometimes stuff comes out, there's ads suddenly that I didn't even know existed yet.
Yeah,
and I'm just surprised by, I didn't know that was coming.
Yeah, they didn't need your approval. They didn't need anything. They just went back and did. Yeah, that's I think that's important.
Both is good. Being almost having the family vibe and being in every project definitely has something to it as well.
Some benefits, but it gets exhausting too. Sometimes
it is definitely exhausting. And it feels like you're wearing too many hats sometimes.
Yeah.
So it felt nice and refreshing to just be they do their job, I do my job.
And then you come together when you have to. Yeah.
Right.
What were you going to say?
Oh, it was just wild for a certain stretch of time. I felt like we were almost running the company in a lot of ways.
You called the shots kind of thing.
It was me, Simon, and UC. Because that was it. For most other team members, when we were on Discmania, it was you go to Austin Montgomery, you go to Avery Jenkins. That was never the case for us. It was like it was always us
Straight to UC, yeah.
and no one else really talked to UC other than us.
So was it?
Yeah, that's true.
So was that like a European kind of brand first, or was it in Colorado, like you said?
Well,
Because I felt like it was kind of like everyone thought of it as like a European thing.
Discmania?
Yeah,
Discmania is
in the
fully
beginning.
Europe. Discmania's headquarters
Okay,
was always in Europe,
Yeah.
and then they did Discmania US, which started out
That's-
in California.
Okay.
And they basically, all their employees, or a good portion of them, came from Colorado early
that's
on.
nice.
And then UC wanted to make the employees happy by bringing it to Colorado, which there were some benefits as well, because Colorado was a little bit cheaper,
Taxes and stuff.
more centrally located as well. So after a few years, they moved to Wellington, Colorado.
Okay, cool. All right, let's talk about living conditions on tour. I think obviously in the beginning of the tour, conditions and where you stayed and stuff like that's so different than nowadays. So I kind of want to talk about the progression from where we started and where we're at. What's some of your experiences of where you stayed? And I think we talked about them earlier. It's staying with Dave Logson in Santa Cruz, but just kind of things like that.
I mean, I've done my fair share of staying with quote unquote fans and friends of disc golf and the community. Never really loved that because I'm a bit like not really the most outgoing person, and when I meet strangers, I'm not like the most comfortable, and I like staying by myself kind of from the start. I did motorhome. When we had the RV on the road, I think we didn't really sleep in it more than half of the time.
Yeah, you found places
Half
to
might
sleep.
be even exaggerating. Maybe like a third of the time, maybe we slept in it.
You just parked it and stayed in someone's house or something.
Yeah. I mean,
hotel.
especially with Avery. Avery knows probably about 100,000 people in the U.S. And he's friends with every one of them. And he knows every street, every corner, every house somehow. So with him, it was super easy to find places.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually kind of impressive. Like all those early touring guys, they just had no option but to know everything and everyone, because the internet didn't really exist and phones didn't really exist.
Right, you'd be like at the course and you'd be like, all right, well, like, hey, where am I going to stay? And you'd be like, run into somebody that lives in town. You're like, hey, can I stay with you?
Yeah.
And like, that's what I would always do. Like early days, I'd just be like, hope that I ran into somebody. And if not, I just slept in my car.
Yeah.
But hopefully you didn't have to.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people have done the van life, have transitioned to that. And a lot of people have slept in their cars. And I mean, some of the young kids on tour nowadays still sleep in their cars.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of, a decent amount actually.
I mean, I get it. Financially, it makes sense. They want to kind of save every penny to like justify this touring lifestyle.
Totally.
But I was just never like that. One of my biggest weaknesses is finances. And I've just always been kind of reckless with money and kind of careless and naive in many ways, because I just always thought, oh, I'll make it back at some point. And I was never really concerned about it. So I would always prefer to stay in a place I technically couldn't really afford. So basically from the first second I could possibly stay in nicer hotels and Airbnbs and stuff, that's what I was going to do. I'd rather have less money and be comfortable than have more money and
sleep in your car.
Sleep in my car or in a cheaper place.
What about you,
like,
Eagle?
that's just my style.
I've kind of done it all. I've done most ways of travel.
Yeah. Because you had the van for a while too?
Well, I have a van
You
right
still
now.
do? Yeah, okay. I didn't know if you still had it.
It's funny because one of my buddies told me, like, he's known me for a while now, and he's a dad, family guy. And at the time, I was like 19 years old, 18, 19 years old. And he remembers me telling him like all the different places I stayed and like meeting up with random people. And his wife was there, and she was like, oh my gosh, that sounds terrifying. Like, I can't imagine letting my child go out to random places in the US and just stay with random people. And he's like, if you ever needed anything, you could have just came to us. Like, because one of my first stories is like going to St. Jude in 2015.
That was in Monterey, right?
Yeah, and I was 17 years old, and I got in a minivan with some people who are still my friends, but they're like, they're being a 17-year-old traveling with these group of guys, probably not the best thing in retrospect, given some of the antics they were doing.
Yeah.
But we drove straight to California. We didn't know we were going to stay. We were like literally making posts on
Figure out after you get there.
We were literally like making posts on the local disc golf club, seeing like, does anybody have a place to stay? And somebody found a spot for us, but it wasn't even their spot. It was their friend's spot who didn't even play disc golf. So it was like, I remember going to this random house, meeting this random guy, and was like, we're going to stay at your place. He's like, yeah, sure. And we were just sleeping on his dirty floor. And then like, I remember
that's disc golf right there.
I remember like one of the days, it was like, gosh, I think it was a tournament day, like Saturday or whatever. We're so tired, but he had the key. He didn't want to give us the key to his place. So we had to wait till like 1 a.m. for him to get home to let us into the house. And I'm just thinking like, oh my gosh, how did I even do that?
Yeah, right.
And like I don't understand. And I didn't get my license till I was 19 years old. I was kind of like Gannon.
Yeah.
So I relied on the hospitality of others to get me around. Yeah. And luckily I had good touring partners. I had Simon, I had Eric Oakley, who would always pick me up, drive me around. We stayed in the motorhome. Mm-hmm. My dad would go out with me and drive me around. Yeah. So the early days was a lot of like making posts on local disc golf communities and trying to get a free place to stay. If Airbnb was cheap enough or a hotel, we'd do that. It was kind of, for me, it was like, I wanted to make sure I felt somewhat safe, but saving money was more important to me. And then as I grew my brand and things were better financially, I'd started to get nicer places. I mean, I'm still pretty cheap. Like I booked far in advance and I got like a great deal here in Estonia. Okay. So it's like, that's my number one focus, but I'm not afraid to spend a little extra money to be comfortable. Yeah. But I'm not going to live lavishly.
Yeah. Like our boy over here. Just kidding.
Ego and I are basically opposites in 90% of everything.
Really? Okay. Basically. I didn't know that. So you were staying in lavish hotels in the early days, huh?
Oh, totally stupid. Like financially completely irresponsible. What? Like just reckless, really. But it worked out somehow. I'm still doing okay.
That's funny. No, for me, I think that
you're famously cheap.
Yeah, I am. I'm on the Eagles side for sure. I'm on his side.
I'm not cheap when it comes to food. That's like the one thing I can justify.
Yeah, like I like steakhouses and stuff. I like to go to good steakhouses. That's one thing I do like. But I also do Airbnbs too, so I can cook food. I do a lot of Airbnbs and I'll book them in advance. But I think the early days for me, it was just same thing. Posting
you Facebook. Airbnb your house.
Yeah, I do Airbnb my house. I'm on both sides. I host an Airbnb and I rent Airbnbs while I'm on the road.
I know.
But yeah, the early days is definitely a lot of Facebook posting, meeting up with a random stranger that maybe is a fan of yours, and you're just like having to like answer questions all day. You're like, hey, can I go to bed now? You're just like asking me questions till 1 a.m. Like, I want to go to bed.
I will say,
and you're like thankful to be there, like that they host you, but then you kind of have to you're at the mercy of what they want.
You have to talk to them.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you feel obligated because you're like, hey, you let me come in your house and sleep, so you're like, of course, I'll answer questions all day, like.
Yeah, like up until the COVID boom, that was something I would do a lot. Mm-hmm. But I feel like disc golf got so big that it would almost feel really weird doing at this point.
The grassroots kind of was a little bit over past that stage.
And I feel like most players on tour don't do that anymore. Yeah.
It's weird because you still could. I feel like you could, but like it also depends on where you're at in your career. Like the young kids now, they sleep, and some of them do sleep in the car. Like they don't have a van or a luxurious setup.
It comes down to like word of mouth. It's like you know somebody. You want somebody trusted because there's starting to be some crazy fans out there.
For sure, yeah. No, totally. But I mean, I think also too, it's like when you're younger, you don't have those connections. That's part of it too. Like you're just like showing up at the tournament. You're like, all right, well, let's hope for the best. Like if I sleep in my car, great. If not, oh well. Like. But yeah, no, it's crazy how it's definitely changed. But you're right too. Like there's a lot more fans and a lot more people out there supporting all the players. So you do get some weirdos. But I think that for me, I haven't really. Most of the people I've stayed with have been super cool people, and I'm sure you guys have been the same.
No, I've very luckily have had only good experiences, which is amazing to say.
I've met some connections where I've been staying there for 8, 9, 10 years with the family. I see their kids grow up. You see the kids. You go there they're babies, and next thing you know, now I'm 10 years in, and the kids are almost grown up. It's crazy. You're like.
I mean, we were pretty lucky that we are the era of disc golf, kind of, that was right in the sweet spot of being small enough that it was quote unquote easy to be like in the top of the mix every week and kind of build your brand, and it wasn't like already flooded with so many superstars. And it was also at the same time big enough that it mattered, and it was like sustainable on some levels at least.
Yeah.
So it was for us like back like 15 years ago, it was so much easier to do what we did than it is now. Like now, if you're a young kid trying to make a splash in the sport, like you got to be the best in the world, basically.
Oh yeah. If I was coming up now and I just started my vlog, I'd be with literally everyone else who has a vlog.
Right. You have so much competition. Yeah, exactly. You'd have to just, slow. It'd be such a slow, whereas you could grow quicker. You post a vlog video, next thing you know, you get a bunch of subscribers, you keep doing that, it starts adding up. Now it's like you're competing with, 10, 20 different people for that same, view time that you would, like you said, 15 years ago. But yeah, it is, you're right. That is kind of a sweet spot to where we get to see all three stages, like the beginning stage where, we all probably slept in our cars, that stage. And then, up until like 20, the middle part was like, starting to get big, like with UC, he had the world tour. That was like a stage where it started really like picking up some steam. And then it kind of, I feel like that was like 2018, 17, something like that, right?
2016.
16, yeah. And then it kind of like that fizzled out, and UC tried, I'm sure he was still running events and doing a lot of stuff because he was always a mover and a shaker. And I was the same way as you. Like I always appreciated his vision for disc golf, and I think it's cool to see where he's at right now. Like with the Worlds coming up, like
totally,
that's awesome to see. Like obviously you have more of a connection with him than I did, but I seen him at the tournaments, and appreciated all the work he did to get on Finnish national TV, get all the like the European Open over the years. It's just been year in year out been the most professional, well run event on tour, and I think that it's just really fitting for him to be able to come around full circle and all of his hard work come together to the World Championships. I'm really excited for that. And he's done.
What's your goal there?
I don't know. I wonder. Try and win, maybe.
You're gonna bring it back.
That's the goal, right? But yeah, no, I think that you guys have more experience with UC than I do, but it's awesome that he's done what he's done. All right, we just played the Superstar Challenge here in Estonia, and I just wanted to get your take on that. It was a very unique event, very professional, and what do you guys think of it?
I thought it was sick. I thought they improved it on basically every level from last year. Last year was a bit of a drag and it felt like a bit of chaos, and no one exactly knew what was going on or where to be or what to do or the format. This year was every team had their volunteer who was helping us and explaining everything and making sure we were at the right place at the right time. And the competitions were kind of quicker and made more sense, and everything was just put in place very nicely. And there's no other or better stage in disc golf like that to do a showcase like that. And I think disc golf has definitely
a place for it.
Yeah, disc golf is cool enough to have a showcase event like that. And I don't know how many of the 3,500 people that showed up only because of the disc golf event, but hopefully a chunk of them.
Yeah. No, it was cool. I think, like you said, they did improve on it a lot, and they put a lot of time and effort into that event. And I think it's, it is kind of cool. I think they're kind of going for like to engage the fans that are not there specifically, like you said, for disc golf. They're there to watch a band, or they're there for, to drink and hang out with their friends, and then they kind of watch some disc fly, and all of a sudden they're tuning in watching disc golf. I think that's kind of, the festival vibe they're going for, to capture that and then get new fans and people into disc golf. And I think it's awesome to see that they've grown that. And like you said, I think there is a time and a place for an event like this. And here in Estonia seems like a great place for it. I really do think that they do a great job. Like you said, they've gotten better with the layout, the format, and they're all about the fan experience. So it's fun for us players, and it's fun for the spectators. I think that's something they do really well here at this event, is they capture both sides of the spectrum, with the fans and the spectators being entertained. What about you?
Yeah, it's an honor to be a superstar.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yesterday I walked past Paul McBeth, who wasn't part of it, and I was like, next year maybe, boy.
That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. He wasn't in it.
Yeah, crazy.
That is crazy.
You both basically said all that I would say about it. It's crazy to have something like that in disc golf, and that the fact that I was fortunate to be a part of it is sweet. Like, just you're seeing off. I mean, we'll talk about this event at large by saying this. You're at one of the most culturally significant spots in the entire country.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big deal to be where we are here in Estonia, especially at the Song Festival grounds. My only critique is that they should do putting, accuracy, then driving, because throwing bomb shots as your first throw of the day, it's like,
I agree with that.
it's like, let's warm up just a little bit.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, they should have like a little pop-up net right on that tee pad that they can just like put down when we actually throw the shots far. So we can just all have like 5 or 10 throws into the net real quick before, like when they're still talking about stuff.
Yeah.
And then just put the net down and then we launch shots. Like, yeah, not warmed up shots it's a tough one.
I think it's cool that you can just, hang out backstage too. I mean, obviously, like Eagle said, for the whole event, not just for the Superstar Challenge, you can have the little lounge and you can get away from the fans, because there's going to be a lot of fans out there. Like, you want time to just relax and just not get, of course, you don't mind signing autographs, but you want a time and a place for it, and you want to be able to kind of just relax before you're around. I think that's super cool too, that they kind of get the like arena vibe where like if you're a basketball player, you get to go behind, at halftime and hang out and do your thing in the locker room. That's kind of what they have here, which is super unique. We don't really have that anywhere else.
Yeah, I love how Europeans ask for signatures.
Yeah.
Autogramm?
Autogram, yeah. Autogram, yeah.
Sign here.
Autogram, yeah.
Isn't that like, here, sign.
Here, sign.
Here, sign.
Yeah, they're like not asking. They're just telling you you're going to sign.
Yeah.
Little Finnish kids, sign.
Yeah. Dude,
they asked if you can give them a disc.
Dude, they were yanking discs out of my bag. The one, like my putters were sticking out, and they were like reaching over trying to grab it, and I had to like give my disc back. Oh, that's funny. All right.
So good.
Okay, how does the All-Star, the DGPT All-Star event compare to the Superstar Challenge here in Estonia? What would you say the biggest differences are in the feel of it and the way it's ran and stuff?
I haven't played All-Stars in 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't even really...
What was the last one you played? Arizona?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it the Fountain Hills one?
No, we were at this
Tucson.
resort in Tucson.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you can't really compare then, because in Tucson, how many people showed up? Like 100?
Yeah.
Maybe to watch?
Yeah. Not very many.
And it just doesn't feel like that cool and serious and fun when it's like there's no crowd,
no draw,
no gallery, no party, like it just didn't feel like a real event. And here, I mean, comparing the two almost makes no sense.
Yeah.
Honestly, like here, like
for sure.
The coolest stage in the country, and I mean, fireworks and smoke.
When you're your team name.
Wait, what do you call those things?
Smoke machine?
Smoke
Yeah,
machines.
smoke machine, yeah.
And music, and freaking we're coming out of a video screen with our faces on it. It's like, I mean,
you can't really compare for sure to that. I mean, I think that's what they're going for. They want to be the biggest and best as far as the promotion, the videos, everything involved, and they're definitely doing that. But yeah, it is, and I think it's just like you said, it's a completely different vibe. There's more people, totally different, format. And I think that, to be honest, I think that All-Star should be something like this as far as the format of it. Where you have teams and you kind of like do it that way, where you have like...
The All-Star event almost feels like it's more for DGN.
Yeah, than it is for the players.
Live spectating.
Yeah, or the play. Like it's fun for us players, but it's like you said, it's more...
Yeah, it's really fun. It's a great first thing in the year.
Yeah,
see where you're at, get a warm-up before the first event. When I did it, I saw it as a good warm-up.
Yeah.
Kind of.
For sure. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to even compare.
It is.
It's like I don't even know. Like we know what the qualification standards are for the All-Star, but I don't know what qualifies you to be
for the
superstar.
Yeah. In Estonia, I guess is different.
The question, I guess, the better question is: would you rather be a superstar or an All-Star?
That's true. I think
I am only a superstar.
Yeah.
So I don't even
I'm only a superstar right now too.
That's funny.
You're both, so tell us what's better.
Yeah, definitely superstar.
Superstar
is definitely here in Estonia. Superstar's status is where it's at.
So we're missing out on.
No, you're not. All right, so something that's important, I think, all of us at this table is designing your own discs. So I kind of wanted to touch base with you guys and see what kind of goes through your head when you're working with the different companies that you've been sponsored by, what's important to you, and how you do that. So talk to people and let them know.
Yeah, for me, over all these years where I've kind of dabbled in disc design, it's a weird line between making a disc that you like and would use versus what the masses would like and use. And I still don't feel like I'm very good at finding that right balance.
Yeah.
No pun intended. But it's because we just throw different.
Yeah.
We just don't throw like most people.
Right.
And we can't really use a disc that is good for someone who throws 300 feet.
Right. That thing's going to be a roller.
So it's tough because, of course, we want our signature discs to, it's a huge part of our brand.
Yeah, you want to actually throw it.
And we want people to buy them and use them and enjoy them. But then we can't really use them and enjoy them at the same time. So, it's tough. And honestly, I don't think I fully really understand disc design. And I'm also not really someone, because I've been playing disc golf since I'm 2 years old. And I don't know what I like or what I'm looking for in a disc or how it should feel in my hand.
You just throw it and see how it flies.
I kind of just need to grab it and then I know, I like it or I don't like it. I don't really know why or what it is about it.
Yeah.
But Eagle is complete opposite again of that, where he knows exactly what he wants. If to the millimeter he wants this tweak, and to the feel he needs that.
Yeah, you can tell how it flies before it flies.
Yeah.
Like I'm not one of those either. Like I'm like you. There's people like you probably are. Like you can literally see the flight of it based on the feel, the dome, the freaking all that. And that makes a huge difference when you're designing a disc, because you have to. It's important if you want it to get it exactly how you want it, to be able to tell them exactly what to do. Because it's hard to tell them if you don't know what you're, like you said, what we're looking for exactly to a T.
Yeah, Eagle will have much more insight. I could be holding a Sidewinder and thinking it's a T-bird. I have no idea what I'm touching.
Yeah, exactly.
I just need to throw it.
All right, what about you, Mr. Disc Expert?
Well, it's interesting because, say at Discmania, I had 2 Creator Series discs, which was the Rainmaker and the Cloudbreaker. And it was me more or less talking to a disc designer and saying what I want and comparing it to a model that I already liked. And if you want to call that disc design, then sure, but it's not getting
not
to
from
the
scratch.
exact detail.
Not from scratch kind of thing.
With MVP, I don't have my own line, but there's been a few instances where I can tell Chad, who is the guy who designs our disc, one of the Richardson bros who started MVP. And it's really cool because we'll sit down on a Zoom meeting. And for instance, one of the discs that's going to be coming out soon is the Boost. The first version wasn't necessarily what we wanted. It was good, but not to the T. He shared his screen on Zoom and he took me through the CAD software, and he was literally able to make these millimeter tweaks to the parting line, the depth of the disc, the dome, and since I don't know CAD software,
right.
but I can kind of speak his language and know what
because you know disc so well.
We can say we're looking at a Tesla. I want the Boost to feel more like a Tesla or a Motion. I like the depth of a certain disc. So I'm all right, the Tesla has this depth. I want the Boost to be this depth. So we'll go in the CAD software and I'll change the dimension on the disc. And the most recent rendition of the Boost that's going to be coming out soon, hopefully, feels great, and it's to my exact tweaks because I know exactly what I'm looking for.
That's awesome.
And I feel like Simon is right. You can't necessarily design the disc that you want, especially when it comes to high-speed drivers, but up to a fast fairway. A flippy disc is useful for both
sure.
pro and
an amateur
light, especially a mid-range, a good torque-resistant mid-range. A beginner should be able to throw it as well as a top pro. So it's
you get that
looking
balance,
for these specific little tweaks that I feel only people who've played for a long time can really give that info, where I think that is valuable. So it's whenever I have a chance to talk to a disc designer, especially Chad, it's always really fun for me because we can kind of nerd out. Because there's so much that goes into it. It's like are you throwing a mid range with a convex wing or a concave wing?
Dome,
it's like this disc is a great backhand disc,
but not
it's
forehand.
not forehand. It's
it
like
flutters out of your hand or something.
Why is that? But then once you kind of like go into it and talk to like somebody who has a better idea on aerodynamics, you're like, oh, I guess that kind of makes sense. So it's really cool.
Yeah, it is weird that like you can throw a disc backhand and it comes out smooth. You throw it forehand and just like does that. And you're like, so crazy that like, but it is so finicky. It's so finicky. You thought it was just your release was bad?
I don't know.
Because sometimes you're like, oh, maybe that's my fault, but sometimes it's actually the disc. Like Eagle said, like if you can throw it super pure, super flat, same amount of spin and everything, and it'll be wobbly versus flat.
Right.
It's like no wobble on a backhand or something. But yeah, I mean, I think that's, for me, I'm kind of in the same boat. It's really, I'm trying to learn like what Eagle knows as far as like all the different things as far as the parting line. That's all so important. And, it's fun to learn it, I think, because you get so good at throwing them. And then, over the years, I'm sure you've learned a little bit though. Working with things like you learn the parting line, you're starting to get better with that kind of stuff. Are you? No, you don't care. You don't care about.
I mean, I know the basics that a low parting line means understate.
Yeah. You're so cool.
I mean, one of the coolest disc design projects I've ever been a part of was the tilt.
Yeah.
So that's actually one of the coolest YouTube videos I think I've ever made. Where Tomas, who's Latitude's disc designer,
I've worked with him
who
before.
might be the most.
He's really smart.
Yeah, he's the most experienced disc designer in the world. I think no one has more
I would
discs
put him
than
out
he's
there.
ever, because he's like over 150 molds he's designed.
I've worked with Tomas a lot for sure.
So he made the tilt, and he showed me also on his screen the first kind of
There's
3D
just a million
renditions
lines everywhere. There's literally like a million lines. It's
of
crazy.
the tilt, and to me it just like looked like a T-bird. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it looks kind of cool. And Tomas was like, no, this is insane. There's never been a disc that looks even nearly like this. And I was like, I thought a millimeter is like really small, but Tomas told me like a millimeter in disc design is like a massive difference in how it will fly. So yeah, the tilt obviously was a crazy experiment.
So one cool thing in the future, and I've started to do this, is say I want like a certain type of mid-range. I feel confident that I could actually like sketch. I don't know like how to use CAD, but I could sketch the rim of how I want it to fly.
And then they could make a CAD program.
And then I could give it to them and be like, I want a disc that looks like this. And I feel like they would be able to say, oh,
they could do it.
That makes sense.
They could transfer that to a CAD program.
Yeah, I've seen Paul has a notebook where he will draw like a rim of a disc. And then give that to Discraft or back then Innova. I don't really know.
Yeah.
And what's your? Do you know design?
Yeah, I'm kind of like in between. I'm not as stupid as you, but I'm not as smart as him. Somewhere in the middle. But yeah, no, like I'm actually working with Discraft right now. We're working on like a thumb track putter. So it's that's something that I like and I enjoy. So it's kind of like.
Like the Rhino and Pig?
Yeah, similar to that. So it's got the thumb track and it's going to be like a forehand approach disc. But I mean, it's the same kind of thing where you're like, all right, I got a sample back and it was too domey and I'd throw it and it'd like wobble. And so like I want to soften the plastic up, and then they're like, all right, if you flatten it up, it's going to make it fly completely different. So it's just all the different variables is crazy that like every step of the way is you change one little thing and you get like maybe a better feel, but your flight changes. Or like it's hard to balance because every tweak, there's always like, it's not like you tweak it and you get exactly what you want. Like that tweak's going to make something else off.
The one thing I've learned.
So that's the tough part.
The toughest thing is like, if you find like a really good stiff run of something that feels really good, chances are that was like the toughest disc to mold up for them. And like the scrap rate is really high.
Right.
So it's like they're never going to really be able to recreate it.
Yeah, because they're 50-60% scrap rate or something. Crazy.
Right, and it's not like maybe they'll do like a small run for the players, but for them to bring forth for a massive production run, it's like it's so never going to happen.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's cool. The Discraft molds their own molds, so they actually do the whole process from start to finish. So like they make the molds in house, so they don't send them off anywhere. So they're just like, whereas like Latitude, I'd like they would do like all the discs, and like you're saying with Tomas, he would design the discs and then they would have to send out the molds and take time. Yeah. Discraft, I can tell them what I want and then they send me a disc 2 days later and I have the disc. I'm throwing it. So like, I don't like that. and then they'll send it back, or so I can have 3 variations in a week. It's crazy. So they'll overnight it, and so it's pretty cool, the process, and like I said, them having it in-house molding is super important as far as the timing. Being able to just test things. Hey, I don't like this. I like this. You get right to the point of what you want or what you don't want. So that's been super super cool to be able to experience that. I haven't done that. I haven't experienced that before. All right, what advice would you have for some new players or new disc golfers that want to get into podcasting, vlogging, any of that kind of stuff?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for tips.
Yeah, right. I mean, we're always learning and stuff, but there's a lot of people out there now with this, how important social media is, and people wanting to build a fan base through YouTube and stuff like that's all. It's all helpful, valuable information for them.
I think the biggest thing now is just taking the leap of faith and doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like you can have a podcast with voice memos on your phone if you're ambitious enough. Like our podcast is produced by, shout out, Will at MVP, but there's many different ways that you can jump into it. So if you have like an idea, just send it, essentially. Yeah.
Right, yeah, to see what sticks for sure. I mean, I think that's, like you said, being genuine. I think there's part to that. It's like you're going to be your personality. Like when you first started, it was quirky in its own way, but it was just what you wanted to do, and that's the important part.
Like production quality is good, and you should definitely strive to have good production quality. But sometimes I'm watching people who have awful production quality, but their personality and what they're saying is like so good and entertaining, and it's almost more fun to watch in some instances because you can tell it's more human.
For sure.
So it's like there's like a fine line.
As opposed to the super edited, super professional. It's like, there's a place for that. But like you said, that's not, I don't think everyone's
personality. You shouldn't let that gatekeep you from getting into it.
Totally agree. I think, like you said, the content and stuff, that's like 80 to 90% of the video. The small 10% of is the quality. I think obviously it is important, but I mean,
and that goes to vlogging as well. It's like most people have a good enough smartphone to start filming. Like get your smartphone and get a mic with it, and then like audio is really important. I think like it's really hard to watch a video if the audio is really bad.
Because vlog, you're talking almost the whole time.
Exactly, but like that's really all you need. Like all I use is an iPhone. Of course, like if you get more and more popular, you're probably gonna want to scale up. Like, there's plenty of YouTubers who still only use their iPhone. Like one of my favorite YouTubers right now, Ryan Trahan, who is killing it on YouTube. He's exclusively an iPhone vlogger. So it's like cool. It's insane what you can do.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. Yeah. What about you?
Well, I don't really know, but I think it's the key is.
What do you know, Simon? You don't know anything about this. You don't know anything about vlogs. You're just floating here. Don't know anything about what you're doing, huh? I'm just kidding.
It's been a long day.
I know. I'm just messing.
No, so I think it's key that you're doing it because you're passionate about it, because you love doing it, because you want to do it, and because you enjoy it. And if those are your main intentions behind doing it, then I think you're on a good path.
Yeah,
it's weird because right now we're in a place where everybody feels like they have to put themselves out onto social media.
Totally.
It's like it's almost to the point where you kind of don't have a choice. It's like if you want to make it on tour, if you want to do anything, it's like you got to look to the internet. And that's tough for a lot of people because some people generally don't really fit into doing it.
Yeah, they don't feel comfortable.
Just first you got to ask yourself a question. It's like, do I have an idea that I can share with people that I want to express?
Yeah. It's not going to feel forced. Yeah, because if it's forced, you're going to do 10 episodes or 10 videos and you're going to stop.
Right.
Because you're just like, it feels like a job. It's not a passion project. Like, well, I think we all said the same thing.
It's
like,
fun.
Yeah, you do what's natural, what comes natural for you. And just like this cliche saying is like, you do what you love, you won't work a day in your life, and I'm sure you would have built a passion for what you're doing. Like, of course, sometimes it might feel like a job, but like most of the time you're just like, hey, I enjoy doing it. And, there's the passion behind it, and that's what keeps the wheels going,
Yeah, I love doing YouTube videos, and every time I have attempted to make it a job, like Disc Golf Network has offered me gigs that I run my vlogs on the Disc Golf Network. Obviously, Discmania has often offered for compensation for the vlogs. And then when I accepted that, I was miserable because then I felt like I had to do it.
Right.
And
so it just
I
changed
didn't
the
like
dynamic.
that.
Yeah.
So I had to cancel all those things that I tried for a bit.
Just didn't work.
And this didn't work for me.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'd rather not make money and have fun
Yeah.
than make money and have no fun.
And I think it's important to note too, it's like Simon and I have never really had a quote real job either. Like the closest thing I had to was like window cleaning for a summer.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's like disc golf is all I've known.
For sure.
So I'm not good at being like a corporate slave.
Right.
If you will. Like
no.
I'm very. Disc golf has made me into like a very free-spirited person, and I think you could probably say the same with everybody who's been playing for more than 5 years.
Yeah, I agree.
Disc golf has probably ruined real work for me the rest of my life.
Right.
Yeah, and I still feel a bit nowadays when like a new Simon Line product becomes available, I want to promote it. But if MVP asked me to promote it, I'd be like, now I don't want to promote it anymore.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it just changes the the tune.
That's just kind of how it is.
Yeah, it's crazy how the dynamic works. All right, so I think a question a lot of people ask, and nobody's really went in detail about it, but what would you guys be doing if you weren't professional disc golfers? I'm sure you've been asked that before, but let's elaborate on that.
Marry rich.
Sugar mama hunter?
No, I have no idea. Obviously, we've been asked this questions. How many times have we been asked that question? So many times, and I think I've said something else every time.
Right?
So,
You just make something random up.
The honest answer is I have no idea. Probably nothing. Maybe
just being a bum.
Whatever.
Would you be in Germany?
Yeah, I would probably live in
Germany
and work at a bar.
Yeah. Playing darts.
Yeah, I really have no idea what I would be doing. No idea.
I have a very similar answer.
Yeah.
It's like, I think when I got into disc golf, I was 9 years old, and then I went on tour when I was 17, and I was just like finishing up high school there, and I was like considering going to college, but disc golf just flipped all those plans on its head. So like, I don't know, I had like interest in maybe like diet and nutrition, but I have no idea if that would have had any merit.
Yeah.
So I'd probably be back in Boulder doing something.
Yeah.
But just with what happened with disc golf is like, it took so much time as a kid to where I had no idea.
To do anything else.
Yeah, exactly. So now, I mean, I'm in it.
Yeah, for sure. All your eggs in the basket. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm in the same boat. I went when I was in high school.
You'd be a lawyer.
Heating. Yeah, no, I'm not that good at arguing. I did heating and cooling, so just maybe some trade school job, nothing crazy. But yeah, I went to my school had like. Did you guys have that vocational school where you go like be a mechanic while you're in high school or do all these different trades? Like you'd be certified to be like a car mechanic or like HVAC or anything like that. That's something we did in our high school had that. So I got certified to be heating and cooling, and never needed it. That was my backup plan that I never needed. But yeah.
Could you fix some heating and cooling at your own house?
Kind of maybe. More like, so basically how it works, they have like a circuit board and it like blinks, and like you got to be able to like troubleshoot the process of like, all right, if the fan comes on and then turns off, it's the problem's at a certain part of the process of the heating and cooling process. So yeah, it's kind of like, I kind of forgot most of it, but I could probably skimp by and figure some problems out if I had to.
Well, nowadays we have ChatGPT.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the jobs you probably would have had are kind of taken over. So that's probably not the worst thing. I guess it's hard to take over disc golf from ChatGPT. Huh? Can't really take over professional sports, right?
We have good job security.
We're safe.
I think we're safe.
I was always told, it's like, what happens if disc golf falls through? It's like those same people are going to be getting their job taken by AI.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You could say the same thing.
Professional sports is probably one of the last things to go.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, robot ain't going to just be. I mean, I guess your robot was throwing pretty good discs.
I have a robot.
Yeah, they're coming.
Yeah.
But we're good for
I think
20, 30 years, I think.
I think the desk jobbers are the first at loss of the job. They can have a robot sit at the desk.
Yeah.
Potentially. But But
our discs will be made by robots and designed by robots, maybe.
But we'll still have a job.
We can still, we'll still. Entertainment, I think, is pretty safe.
All right, can you tell everyone your career plans after disc golf? We kind of talked about before disc golf. Now let's talk about after. After you quote unquote retire from, let's say, the tour. I mean, it's obviously a lifelong sport, but the grind of, playing in a tournament every week, or having a, rigorous tour schedule. What do you see yourself doing?
I just want to be the best dad possible.
Aw, that's cute.
No, just kidding.
It's a cliche answer.
I want to be a good enough dad.
Yeah.
But no, I have two main things. Number one, I can't really plan for it because I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm patiently waiting for the right place to pop up at the right time. Best case scenario would be a really crappy old 9-hole golf course that is for sale for dirt cheap because no one knows what else to do with the land. No one else wants to take over a business that failed. Mm-hmm. I want that.
Yeah, you want.
And ideally, it already has a little clubhouse that isn't completely falling apart, and I can turn that into a little microbrewery and take all my friends in Massachusetts and start opening that as a disc golf destination. That would be dream number one. And I think number two, I really enjoy disc golf course design. And John Houck has kind of paved a cool way to make that a career because he can charge, he has a brand and a name and the whole concept. And I think he charges tens of thousands of dollars per design.
Crazy.
So if you do that and you get 3 to 5 gigs a year, you're doing pretty well. So that's something I could see myself doing is somehow with my name and my brand.
Transition to that.
Yeah, get kind of just into that and find some big course design gigs for to make courses better because we all know that disc golf, one thing we're lacking is good courses.
For sure. I agree. Can never be too many of those. At least nowadays. I'm sure one day there might be, but not now. What about you, Eagle?
I'm only 27, so it's hard for me to say exactly. Obviously what Simon said sounds great, but I don't think I'm necessarily that kind of person to bring forth a big disc golf destination. Maybe I'll change. If you talk to 27-year-old Simon, he'd probably say something different.
Completely different.
Oh yeah.
So it's as of right now, I'm pretty focused on just what I'm doing. Dare I say, I would probably take a few years away from disc golf just to reset my bearings, and then obviously I'm fortunate to have created a pretty big name, so there's endless opportunities what I could do within the sport, whether it be course design, or maybe something that I don't even know yet.
Yeah, exactly. Never know. For me, I think that something unique that I've kind of created is I like doing course breakdowns. That's something that obviously I've been doing that on YouTube, and I break down courses, and people have been liking those, and I've been enjoying doing them. So yeah, I think that's something that I can pretty much always do, even if I'm not traveling or touring and doing all that.
A course review channel?
Yeah, where you go to someone's private course and hey, I want you to review this course, and so you go through the course and you basically just showcase. There's a way of showcasing a newly opened course or something people. It's a good way for you to get publicity for a new course or a course that someone.
I'll hire you in my course.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
You're in.
First course, let's do it.
I need the Ricky approval.
Yeah. So I can kind of pick apart a course as far as the course management and how maybe a professional would, even if I'm, let's say 10, 12 years down the road, maybe I'm not competing at the highest level, I can still see how pros think. And, I think that that's important for people to see. And I think it really, you can showcase all the different dynamics. I've always liked golf. So golf always uses slopes and things, and disc golf courses do sometimes as well. So you can I enjoy explaining the slope, why people throw certain shots, how certain shots fit certain greens or certain fairways, all that different stuff. So I enjoy explaining the intricacies of a course and how that can affect shot shaping and just the overall playability of a course. So I think that's something that I've recently discovered. And of course, similar thing as Simon too, is that that's always, for me, that's something I would be open to if the opportunity arose, and was able to get a chunk of land and call it your own, and you kind of give back to the disc golf community that way, to where you can offer an amazing facility for people to come and play, maybe whether it's run tournaments or just local players, an awesome course to play. So yeah, I think that's my thing.
I've had the luxury and luck in life that I never really had to think too much about
The future.
what I had to do
Yeah.
or what I wanted
What
or
your
needed
next
to
steps
do
are, yeah.
after disc golf.
It's not like you had to plan.
I always
plan
felt
everything
very secure
Yeah.
with my family in Germany. I had a lot to fall back on if I needed to.
Mm-hmm.
And with the family vibe and feeling we had at Discmania, it also always felt like kind of no matter what happens, if I wanted to, I could just go work at Discmania, some job, and I'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was always going to be disc golf something.
Yeah, some way or another.
Yeah.
All right, I think everyone kind of follows both of you guys here, but if you want to tell everyone how to follow you on socials, and so they can keep up with your continued journeys.
I'd recommend checking out my YouTube channel if you want to see some behind the scenes stuff of the tournament, and every single throw I'm throwing this year is on camera, and I'm talking about all the highlights and the lowlights of my tournament rounds, and just try to have fun on and off the course as much as possible. So check me out over there.
All right, Eagle.
Yeah, I mean, I have 2 YouTube channels, Eagle McMahon and Eagle Unlimited. I post way more to Eagle Unlimited lately, and then my Instagram. So that's about it for me.
Cool. And I'm on the YouTube game now doing the course breakdowns on tour. So you can check me out there, Instagram.
Whatnot.
Whatnot, selling discs on Whatnot. That's a new adventure. So once I get back to the States, I'll be continuing that. And thanks to Jomez for bringing everyone together. And thank you guys for joining the show. And good luck this week in the major.
Thanks, Rick.
Cheers.
Thanks, y'all.